It is important to know your ascendant sign because you want answers, all right? In my work, right, when clients come to me, in fact, every one of them, they seek answers. They want to know why certain things are happening in their life. And then, of course, knowing your answers, you want remedies. What can I do? What can we do to improve our lives? This is what most people want to know, right?
Yep.
And then you want to activate the right energy. Oh, I will just stop here for a while to share a real case study I've come across many years back. Why do I say activating the right energy is more important than any other things?
Okay.
Remember just now we talked a bit about moon sign?
Yeah.
And some astrologers, they place more importance on moon sign rather than ascendant sign. This is what happened. So this guy, I was helping a friend to do some staff management stuff, all right? So one of the staff was actually caught stealing from his employer. The employer was my friend. So he was waiting for the police to arrive, and he had to be deported because he committed a crime, right? So while waiting, right, and I happened to see that he was wearing a very big citrine stone ring. And when I saw that ring, I know that it has to do with Jupiter because Jupiter controls yellow-colored stones. So being the curious me, I asked him for his birth details, which he gladly gave me. Maybe there's some affinity between him and I. So I constructed his chart. Then I saw that actually Jupiter was a functional malefic. Functional malefic means that Jupiter is a benefic planet. Jupiter wants to give good result, positive results. But in some charts, right, Jupiter becomes a malefic, a functional malefic. It gives negative results. But Jupiter wants
as
to
far
give
as I know, Jupiter is like the planet of abundance, right?
Yeah, abundance, yes. He wants to give positivity. He wants to bless you. But for some birth charts, Jupiter becomes like a headmaster, a discipline master, if you do the wrong things.
Oh, so it becomes the opposite.
Yeah, it still wants to bless you, but in this case, the Jupiter is trying to teach you a lesson or teach him a lesson.
Okay.
And by activating Jupiter, right, you will inevitably be experiencing a lot of negative things happening in your life because Jupiter wants to teach you a lesson. Okay, so then I asked him why did he wear that citrine stone ring? Because he said, back to his home, there was this master who told him that his moon sign was at this sign, and then Jupiter was very important to him, so he should wear a Jupiter ring. And because the most powerful stone for Jupiter is actually yellow sapphire. But yellow sapphire is expensive. He couldn't afford it. So he bought a citrine stone. So he was trying to activate Jupiter. Then I asked him, so how did it fare for him? How did it go? So he said after he wore the citrine ring, he had a chance to come to Singapore, which is something good, But then things are not happening well for him because along the way, he has made a lot of mistakes. And of course, the biggest was that at that time when he decided to steal from his employer and then he got caught and then he had to be deported. So I told him, you shouldn't be wearing a citrine ring or a yellow sapphire ring. You should be wearing something else. And at that time, I told him a diamond or a white sapphire. Now, this actually accentuates signifies the importance of ascendant sign. When you give remedies, right? When you use remedies based on, say, your sun sign, your moon sign, things can go wrong. Because remember my description and definition. Ascendant sign is who you are, your physical body in this realm, what you are doing. Okay, so if you activate the wrong energy, right? Yeah, you can have moksha, meaning liberation, right? But what's happening to you? You are living in this earth, in this realm. You want good things to happen to you. You want money, right? You don't want to end up in jail, right? You don't want to be deported, right? Yeah, so activating the right energy for you has to come from your ascendant sign. Okay, so that's the importance of ascendant sign.
Interesting.
In Western astrology, they may use other signs. Okay, I'm not trained in Western astrology to really comment too much, but
Yep.
Vedic astrology, ascendant sign.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you want to know your ascendant sign, going back to the day when I was learning Vedic astrology, there wasn't any app. Okay, and then I have to go to some websites, key in the details and all. But nowadays you have a lot of apps, and most of the apps are free. You can, for iPhone users and Android users, you can use AstroSage. Okay, once you go to AstroSage, you download, choose Kundali, and then key in the place of birth or the default place that you want. So you can put in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm sure the list will come. Okay, and then if let's say you do not have the list doesn't include your country, you can always go to timeanddate.com or some website to choose or to get the coordinates of your particular country, which you can manually key in, like such.
Oh, by the way, what does Kundali mean?
Kundali means your birth chart.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then still remember I said your birth date, if it's 31st December 1981 or earlier, then you will have to manually key in the time zone at 7:30. Okay, this is important because the difference of 30 minutes can mean a change in sign and the degrees.
Sorry, for our international listeners, you probably need to explain this time zone change.
Okay, so like I mentioned just now, Malaysia, Singapore, we went through a series of time zone changes. Okay, so on the 1st January 1982, we both Malaysia and Singapore had adopted the time zone plus 800 hours UTC. Before that was 7:30. And then in some countries like China, where geographically they really have 4 or 5 different time zones, right?
Yeah.
But the government only use one time zone, which is the Beijing plus 0800 hours UTC time zone.
Okay.
So in this scenario, right, always use the official one. Okay, why? Because it is the energy. The energy of that country is such that I don't care where you are, I dictate that you use this time zone.
Okay.
Then you use that time zone.
Okay.
Okay. Of course, not all the countries are like that, only some countries.
So the question is, and a lot of very intellectual astrologers will go so far as to find out exactly where you are and then give what I can call the solar time or something like that.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
I guess you are talking most probably on the Western astrologers. But in any ways, there are always people who want to use the exact time or exact
the exact
place or
geographical time or
coordinates.
something.
Yeah. Now, you can do that, but then you will be disregarding what I call, very importantly, the energy. Now, I digress a bit.
Yeah.
Think of it as a dwelling, the country as your dwelling. Okay? No matter how big or how small your country is, it is your dwelling. If, let's say, the head of that property, which in this case, China, says that every part of China, whether it's at Xinjiang or Beijing or, Urumqi, is Urumqi in China?
Yes, correct.
Or Shanghai, everybody uses the same time zone. The energy is such that you have to adhere to that time zone. And from my observation, right, this takes precedence over the actual position of, or the actual coordinates of that country. Yeah. But like I said, not every country is like that. If you go to Australia, they also have different time zones.
Yep.
Yeah, US has different time zones.
Yep.
Right? So it all depends on the country.
But
that we're
ultimately,
talking about.
we follow the time zone already set by the government or the
By the
country.
government.
So, for example, if US have different time zones, we just follow whatever time zone that's related to you.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Correct.
noted.
Okay. And then when you click OK, this thing will show up. This is essentially your birth chart. Okay, I
Cool,
will explain a bit later on.
cool.
Now, there's another app which is my favorite, okay, but unfortunately it's only available for Android phones. Okay, it's called Joytish app. If you are using an Android phone, then I will encourage you to use this app because there are a lot of features which is free, and then you can do a lot of manual manipulation of data. So when you download this, you go to settings, okay, and then you choose the chart type, North Indian, notes as mean notes, and of course you want your Rashi and planet names to be in English, not Sanskrit or Hindi, okay? And similarly to AstroSage, you need to key in manually your time zone if you were born at a certain date and time. Okay, and then you have this birth chart created.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
Now, this is the North Indian birth chart. I'm just using color, to just emphasize the differences.
Okay.
Right, but essentially, you can see they are the same.
Yep.
Okay. There are 12 sectors. The top here is called the first house or the ascendant house. Right, the most important house. And if you go anti-clockwise, second, third, all the way to the 12th house. So there are 12 houses. We call it houses. There are 12 houses in the Vedic birth chart.
Okay.
Okay, so again, I chose a random date and time, okay, and chose Kuala Lumpur as the place, and I constructed this birth chart. So on the 13 October 2024 at 4:54 p.m., the ascendant sign was Aquarius at 22 degrees 5 minutes. Okay, and then you will see in this ascendant house, right, there are some things there. Saturn, SA, SA is there. Now, Aquarius is owned by Saturn. So this means that ascendant lord means that the graha, the planet that is ruling that sign. So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Right? So in technical jargon, we call it the ascendant lord is in the ascendant. The ascendant lord is in the first house. Okay, and then you have all the other grahas in the various degrees and signs. Rahu is still in Pisces, Ketu is still in Virgo. Okay, so this is how we use the app, to know exactly what the ascendant you are, or what ascendant the current time is. Okay, you receive a phone call. Oh, my wife just gave birth. My whoever's wife just gave birth. You click. Oh, okay. You know that the baby is this ascendant sign.
Okay. Aside from the planets that I know, can you explain more about Rahu and Ketu?
Okay, Rahu and Ketu, as mentioned, they are the nodes of the moon, the north node and the south node. Now, they are imaginary grahas. They are imaginary planets. They are not physical planets. Now, Rahu essentially represents your desires, what you want in life, but you may not be able to get it. That means you are always working towards that.
Okay.
K2 represents something that you already know, but you don't care for it. Okay, so for example, you see this chart, right? Rahu, which is represented by RA, is here. It's at the second house. Second house, we talk about essentially money. Okay? It's one of the money houses. So you can say that anyone born on this date, this time, right, when Rahu is there, right, this person will be actively seeking out money. This person will be actively seeking out how to increase his bank account. But he may have challenges doing that. And because he has challenges, right, he or she has challenges, right, you'll find that they are devoting their entire time
And
to
energy
achieve that.
and attention.
Yes, something like that.
It becomes an obsession in a way.
You can say until the day they are enlightened, so to speak. Then they know that this is something that they shouldn't be pursuing. Yeah. So K2, like I mentioned, is something that you already know, okay, but you don't care for it. So K2 in this case is in the 8th house, right? Now, 8th house represents a few things. It's also a money house, but it's a house of secrets. It's a house, okay, metaphysics, astrology, hidden information are all represented by the 8th house. So this person actually will not care so much about astrology and metaphysics. Don't, or even religion. They'll tell you, don't tell me so much about all this. All I want to do is how much money can I make and can I accumulate this year? Yeah. Right? So that's Rahu and Ketu. Now, if you ask me, of all the 9 grahas, which is the most important? They are all important, of course.
Yep.
But in our current realm, right? Where everyone is pursuing money, right? Rahu Ketu is very important. They become very important because it shows where our desires are. Yeah. And when Rahu is not in a favorable position, right, you will find that this person is always pursuing the wrong thing. Okay.